Ever since Super Mario Party was revealed at E3 this summer, everyone has been going crazy stating that the game is a return to form for the series. As someone who grew up playing the Nintendo 64 and GameCube entries with my family and close friends, I was actually really excited for this new entry, and even made a video going over all the new boards and features for the core Mario Party mode, to basically hype the game up. But when the game got a bit closer to release, I made a more critical video going over the confirmation of only 4 boards being in the game, and a limit of 20 turns for each of those boards, which the latter is only somewhat true, but point still stands. So there's a bit of controversy with this game over the internet, so I thought, why not? Let's talk about what I think about Super Mario Party. Alright, so I'm just going to get this out of the way. The core Mario Party mode is fun. You traverse through boards with up to 3 of your friends, you race for stars, steal them from each other, and you play minigames after each turn. At its core, the original board game gameplay is back. Item shops provide useful items, and each stage has its own event spaces. There are even a few additions that make the gameplay feel a bit more intense. So everyone probably knows this by now, but all the characters have their own custom dice block. So this technically is a returning feature for Mario Party Star Rush, but I don't know if a lot of people played that game. I know I didn't, but anyway, having it in a traditional game is pretty interesting though. So some characters like Daisy and Shy Guy offer safer and more consistent roles, while other characters like Bowser and Donkey Kong are high risk but high reward. There's also the ability to gain allies by landing on certain spaces or getting a buddy phone item. And allies are really useful as they give access to their custom dice block, but what makes them more useful is the guaranteed added number that'll be added to your dice roll. So after you roll, your ally will actually roll a block from 1 to 2, and you'll get that as a guaranteed addition to your overall number total that you're going to move on the board. And this is kind of where the game starts to fall apart, because seriously, it can be a little broken. This means players lucky enough to land on ally spaces repeatedly are guaranteed to travel further than those who don't, giving them a competitive advantage. So the first game that I played with my brother, I had an 8-star lead on the person in second place simply because I kept landing and getting lucky by landing on the ally space. I was able to roll double-digit numbers consistently without even trying. Basically, players with significantly more allies than others will be able to traverse most of the board each turn and secure most stars. However, it's worth noting that the game does cap you out at 4 allies, and it's not always likely that the same person will keep landing on the same ally space. But the ally space can dictate who has an advantage if others don't get lucky enough to land on it as well. Also, as everyone on the internet has noticed, the boards are much smaller this time around. On one hand, it allows for more stars to be in play, which can make the game a bit fairer. But on the other hand, stars tend to land in the same 5 spots that, more likely than not, are only a few spaces away from a given person. The worst part about all of this is that everything is so cheap. Stars are a mere 10 coins, mushrooms I believe are only 3, gold mushrooms are only 5, and the gold pipe, which takes you directly to the star, much like the magic lamp and the flutter orbs from previous games, it's only 10 coins. So if you have 20 coins in your pocket and you go to the item shop, and you're lucky enough for there to be a golden pipe, which is there a decent amount of times, you're going to be able to get the star no matter what next turn. So everyone always has enough for the star or an item to get them the star. After minigames, players in first place get 8 coins typically, and players in second get 4, and third you get 2. And if it's a team game, then you usually get an extra 2 coins, so you can get up to 10 coins for a minigame. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that you're always going to have a ton of coins, and even if you don't, you'll still probably have enough for the star. It really just comes down to luck with rolling and where the star ends up landing, and that's why the allies are so overpowered. Whether that hurts the experience for you, or it sounds like classic Mario Party, is completely up to you, because a lot of Mario Party is luck-based. It's always been that way. It's a board game, but remember, there are bonus stars to potentially change the end of the game. 2 bonus stars are there for 10-turn matches, and 3 bonus stars are given for 20-turn matches, and I'm not too sure about 15 turns. I haven't tried that. On a positive note, the boards each have their own unique gimmicks, and they're all pretty cool to me. Whomp's Domino Ruins sees the largest of the boards, at least it seems like it's the largest of the boards, and it has Whomps blocking a couple of the pathways. King Bomb's Powder Cave Mine has a center portion that can blow up, and any player will lose half their coins in that center part if it blows up. Mega Fruit Paradise has pipes that you need to take in order to get from one side of the map to the other. And the unlockable board, Kamek's Tantalizing Tower, is a race to the tops, so you can purchase stars for potentially a cheap price. You can actually buy up to 2 stars on that in that board, and you can buy up to 3 during the last 3 turns. Oddly enough, the Kamek stage is the only board that allows you to play more than 20 turns. You can play up to 30 on it. The other boards are restricted to 20, and that just makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm really hoping that Nintendo patches the game to allow all boards to be played with up to 30 turns, but what are you going to do? I don't think it's going to bother everyone, but I really hope that they do patch that. Turns do seem to take a bit longer than in previous games as well, so 10 turns does really mean that the game will probably go on for an hour. Whereas previous Mario Parties, I feel like 10-turn games could be completed within 45 minutes. The mini-games in the party mode range from simple fun to some of the best in the series, actually. Sizzling Stakes, a game I'm sure you've seen in a lot of other videos, is incredibly fun, and games like Don't Wake Wiggler and Tall Order are sure to be a blast with all of your friends. Games that actually use the Joy-Con's motion controls and gyro sensor are some of the best in the series, whereas the other games that just revolve you using the control stick aren't as good. However, even some simple minigames like Stake Your Claim are a ton of fun. There are definitely a few stinkers, but with a group of friends, you'll find most of the games to be enjoyable. Overall, I found the core Mario Party mode to be a lot of fun. The game seems to place players with allies at an advantage, which is a bit unfortunate. It can be a bit lame if one player gets a lot more than others. There are only 4 game boards as well, and they aren't as elaborate as older entries, but overall, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have fun with it. I had a ton of fun playing with my friend, and if you grab a group of your friends, even some beer if you're of age, then there is no doubt that you're going to have a good time with them. There are a few other modes that NDQ threw in the game, so let's talk about them. The best of them, in my opinion, is Partner Party, which is reminiscent of the core mode in Mario Party Star Rush. So basically, 2 players team up to traverse an altered version of the same 4 boards in the regular Mario Party mode, but this time around you have free movement. The mode is surprisingly a lot of fun, as you move a lot of spaces at once and can strategize with your teammate more than you can in the standard Mario Party mode. It's definitely worth checking out if you have 4 people playing and you're willing to split up into teams. I think there are a bit less minigames that play in this mode, but I think it's overall definitely worth checking out and trying. River Survival is a mode that is fun for the first couple of times you play it, but probably won't be much after. You traverse the same river each time, playing the same 10 minigames. There are branching paths, but they all control the same and don't offer much variety. You'll more likely than not just play the mode until you end at all 5 paths, which will allow you to unlock Donkey Kong and the gem for that mode. There is incentive to go back with your friends and get high scores possibly, but I think most people will probably just stop playing the mode. There's also Soundstage, which is a short mode that offers Rhythm Heaven-style minigames. While the idea isn't that bad, it's completely ruined by the controls, at least for me it was. So there were a lot of instances where the game thought I was shaking twice instead of just once, and that's because the game doesn't read your movement at all. It simply registers whether the controller is waggling at all, so you need to be really careful and shake the remote as quickly as possible. Overall, the mode is just over way too quickly, and the controls aren't responsive enough to really warrant replaying ever again. Basically, once again, you're just going to play until you get the gem, and you're done. Seeing the winner disrespect the others with dance moves at the end of each game is hilarious, though. Other modes include a sticker collage mode, which will probably keep you occupied for all but 30 seconds. And there's also a mode that allows you to replay any minigame you've unlocked. And then there's also Mariothon, which is a 5-round minigame tournament that can be played both locally and online. Online play is restricted to 10 minigames only, though, and you can only play 5 of them at a time. It honestly just feels more like a demo than a rather full-fledged online mode, so you're probably not going to be playing it much, but it's there if you're interested. But there are 2 more modes to talk about, and these are the single-player mode called Challenge Road and Toad's Tech Room. Unfortunately, I was not able to play either of these modes, so for some reason, Challenge Road is locked away until you play every single minigame in Super Mario Party. And I've played every single minigame, except for one team game that is only playable in the core Mario Party mode and maybe Partner Party. But regardless, team games are not played a lot because they rely on you and your allies participating in the game, and I don't know if everyone in the game needs to have allies or if there's need to be a certain amount of allies in play, but regardless, team games are kind of a rarity during a main game. So I have not played this one mini game, and I've tried going back and playing against computer a decent amount of times, and I'm just kind of done trying to get lucky and have the mini game be played. The single player mode does look good though. It is basically a linear path that has you play through all the mini games with varying objectives. Once again, it's kind of simple, but it does seem like it could be fun. It's also how you unlock both Diddy Kong and Pom Pom to play in the regular modes. So I'm fine with them locking these characters behind the single player mode, but why is the single player mode locked behind me waiting until the game decides to finally let me play the last minigame? It's really frustrating. Anyway, I also haven't played Toad's Tech Room, and that's because I only own one Nintendo Switch. But these games do allow you to connect 2, and maybe more, but I know they can allow you to connect up to 2 Nintendo Switches and play a couple different games with them. It looks fun, but nothing more than a casual amusement that'll probably last like 5 minutes. The last thing I want to talk about is the presentation and the overall design of the game. So the game looks really good visually, and the animations are really well done. The soundtrack is also really good, and some of the tunes are pretty catchy. Being able to walk around a plaza as the main menu was a cool touch, and if you don't like that, you can always open a more traditional menu by hitting one of the face buttons. One thing that bothered me is to switch characters or to add more human players, you need to exit the plaza, like you need to go all the way to the entrance and exit it, and talk to the Toad at the entrance to change your characters. It's not a huge inconvenience or anything, it's more of a nitpick, but still, it just seems a bit poor from a design standpoint. I don't know why when I hit the Mario Party mode in the plaza, I can't just change my characters there, but whatever, it's not a big deal. I also wish there was a more unique theme for the game other than just, oh, it's a Mario Party. Like I said, not a huge deal. I am more so just nitpicking here, but it would have been nice to see maybe some Mario Odyssey theme or maybe some unique characters. I don't know. Like some of the older games, like for example, Mario Party 5, they had the Star Spirits from Paper Mario in the main menu, and I thought that was really cool. But anyways, like I said, it's probably just me nitpicking for the most part. I enjoyed most of my time with Super Mario Party. The core gameplay is a lot of fun, even if the ally spaces can give lucky players an unfair advantage at times. The boards could be a bit bigger to compensate for this, maybe, and there could be more boards in general, but still, I had a lot of fun playing this game with my friends, both in the Mario Party mode and the Partner Party mode. Most of the minigames are also really good, and the game just feels really polished. The game is lacking content, though. I'm not going to try to beat around the bush. There are only 4 boards to play on, and even with the abundance of modes, most of the modes feel too short or underdeveloped. And some design choices, like restricting 3 boards to 20 turns, while the 4th board can be played with up to 30, does hurt the experience a bit. But if you're a fan of the original style of gameplay and have the friends to play it, then I'd be lying if I said you won't have a good time, because you will. It's a lot of fun. It's far from the best Mario Party. In fact, I'd say that most of the GameCube and N64 versions are better than this game, but it's the most fun I've had with the series since those games. It's the best Mario Party game I played since Mario Party 8, probably, or Mario Party DS, but that was on a handheld. And for that reason, I'm giving Super Mario Party a 7.5 out of 10. So those are my overall thoughts of the game. Thank you guys for watching my review. Let me know what you think of the game in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content. But that's going to cover it for now, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.